This Calgary Flames prospect update is unreal. Flames fans are all looking ahead to the future because it is lumens upon lumens brighter than where we currently sit. And boy, oh boy, do I ever have a ranking of the dominant Flames prospects that will have you frothing at the mouth. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and let's talk about our perfect prospects. It is probably my favorite subject to talk about just because, the Flames kind of stink. Who knows what Flames team shows up at night in, night out. Sometimes they explode for 5 goals or they get shut out. There's almost no in between. But either way, looking ahead to the future is super fun, and talking about our prospects is always a blast, gives us hope, which inevitably gets crushed every year when we don't win the cup as Flames fans. But either way, let's talk about these prospects. So the way in which we're going to do this is a great article here from Wes Gilbertson of the Calgary Herald. So he writes Flames prospect power rankings. We're going to be looking at some power rankings, so it's hard to ignore Ethan Wittenbach's superb stats. So Flames 5th round pick Ethan Wittenbach is leading the NCAA's freshman scoring race, although he was overlooked for a World Junior invite. And that's actually interesting. Apart from this article, what's being brought up right now is a couple of really good American Flames prospects did not get the invite for the World Junior team, including Wittenbach, of course, who is tearing it up in the NCAA, as well as Cullen Potter. Neither of them, and it's not just, Flames fans saying this, but across the NHL, just hockey fans in general are saying, why aren't these guys getting called up? But either way, let's talk about the Flames specifically. So number one, he puts Matvei Gridin, who of course is tearing it up with the Wranglers right now. He was ranked first last month as well. So the Flames figured Gridin would be a good one, but he has shown over the past couple of months that he could be a bona fide star in the making. He's the only teenager and one of just 2 rookies in the top 10 in AHL scoring race. The 19-year-old speedster recently cobbled together a 7-game point streak, the longest of his pro career. As Flames general manager Craig Conroy summed up during Friday's game broadcast on Sportsnet, he's putting a lot of pressure on us to get him back up here, and Flames fans would love to see that, but we have a good one, looks as close to a surefire thing as possible in Gridin. We'll never get tired about talking about him. Next, Cole Reshny, one of the men, of course, on the thumbnail for this video. Actually, depends which thumbnail you got, but anyway, he's playing in the NCAA. He's with UND right now, and he has 15 points in 14 games, so really good. He was also ranked 2nd last month. So Reshny already is a key contributor at North Dakota, but this was especially heavy lifting this past weekend with the Fighting Hawks missing their most experienced center. The Flames' first-rounder stepped up in a big way, notching 4 assists and winning 61.4% of his faceoffs during a 2-game sweep of Bemidji State. No idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The 18-year-old Reshny totaled 11 points in 7 games in the month of November, and because he does so many little things well, he's certainly in the conversation for a spot on Canada's World Junior roster. I think he'll definitely get an invite and most likely a roster spot as well, but maybe I'm a little biased. Now, coming in at number 3 is Cullen Potter, the man who for sure was on your thumbnail because he's on both. He's, of course, playing with ASU in the NCAA as well. He has 14 points in 16 games after a very slow start, and he's jumped up in the rankings here for the Herald as he was 6th up to 3rd now. So after a sluggish start, Potter has found his groove. The 18-year-old burner is riding a 7-game point spree, has notched 2 winning goals over a 3-game span, and set a season high with 7 shots on net on Black Friday. He evidently had adjusted to the extra pressure that comes with being a first-round pick. Being overlooked for World Juniors will sting, especially since the tournament will be played in his home state of Minnesota, although he will be eligible again a year from now. So always that second shot, kind of what Perek is going through this year, but Potter has turned it on and we are excited about him. Next up, Hunter Brustevich, who is again tearing it up with the Wranglers. He's got 11 points in 20 games as a defenseman. It's actually cooled off a little bit. Here we go. While Brustevich posted underwhelming stats in November, held off the score sheet in 8 of his dozen dates, he told Post Media midway through the month that he believes he has been much more consistent as a sophomore pro and is playing a much more mature game. It must be encouraging to see Kuznetsov, who was his primary partner last season, now making the most of his opportunity in the show. Brustevich just turned 21 and is playing 20-plus minutes a night in the AHL. Exactly what you want for one of your best blue line prospects. And we are so lucky to just have almost what seems like the cream of the crop in terms of defensive prospects, especially in terms of offensive defensemen. And Brustevich has just really worked at his game and plays a more complete game now. You'll love to see it. Now, Ethan Wittenbach, the man of the hour. I talked about prospects a tiny little bit in yesterday's video, but Wittenbach is the talk of the town just because he was a 5th round pick. So he's playing with Quinnipiac in the NCAA as well. He has 22 points in 16 games, the second highest points per game in the entire D1 NCAA, which is insane for a freshman. He wasn't even ranked on the last rankings by the Herald. Now, Wittenbach was a 5th round pick in June, and he's already looking like a serious steal. The 18-year-old winger leads all NCAA freshmen with 22 points. He has the same number of apples with 14 as some dude named Gavin McKenna. So who needs McKenna when we've already got better than McKenna in Wittenbach? Whenever you mention Wittenbach's name to one of Flames' higher-ups, they'll stress that his numbers are especially impressive because he doesn't play huge minutes. Crazy! While he ultimately wasn't invited to USA Hockey's World Junior Camp, he must have been one of the toughest to leave out. That in itself is a compliment to his fantastic fall, since he was barely on the radar as the season started. Incredible. What a story. He is just defying odds, it seems, and really a great pickup once again by the Flames in the draft. Hopefully he obviously pans out, but he is looking amazing right now, and we'll be obviously watching his development very carefully. Next one here is Rory Cairns. I think this is the second to last one I'm going to show. There were more in the article, but Rory Cairns, is he a prospect? I guess because he hasn't quite, cracked the NHL level, but either way, in 2 games in the NHL, he had 0 points, but in 17 games, he has 19 points with the Wranglers. So we were surprised that Cairns' latest call-up was so short-lived. Agreed. With strong analytics on Kadri's wing, we believe he deserved a longer look. The 23-year-old is now back in a first-line role in the AHL, where he continues to average upwards of a point per game and potted an OT winner the other night. But his big challenge is convincing Ryan Huska that he can play at NHL pace. It's clear that the Flames bench boss has his doubts about that. And sure, Huska probably knows better than us, but I know a lot of us want to see Cairns. Maybe, Huska's just definitely team tank and doesn't want some more offensive contribution, even though the Flames are playing kind of good every other game, it seems. But either way, Cairns number 6. And the last one I'll show in here is Henry Muse. So he's with Michigan in the NCAA so far this season. In 10 games, 9 points. Again, fantastic. So he was ranked 5th last month. Muse is just a few weeks into the grueling recovery from a season-ending knee surgery. And while we had him ranked a little higher after he'd racked up assists in October, this is probably closer to where he belongs in the big picture view. There's no doubting that this 19-year-old has high-end offensive capabilities, but as a right shot rear guard, we question how much future opportunity will be available behind Perek and Brustevich. He's also, over the past couple years now, had some injury troubles. A lot of people label him, made of glass or whatever, and he's still really good. Great to have around. He could be a really good, trade asset in a way if he doesn't come ahead of some of these other right-handed defensemen or offensive defensemen in the system, but still obviously good to have him around. And that kind of, I guess, does it for what I'm going to show. Feel free to go read the whole article. Really well done by Wes Gilbertson, of course. I believe the next guys were William Stromgren, Basha was in there, and Battaglia as well, who has cooled off a little bit this year after going crazy last year, but still great to have all those guys in the system, and many, many more that didn't make it super high in these power rankings, but still super exciting. Now, speaking of excitement, there is a game tonight, and it's almost being labeled as the Tank Bowl, as the Flames are playing in Nashville tonight. This one goes at 6 p.m. Calgary time. Nashville has taken over as the worst team in the league. They have the fewest points. They seem like they're going to be trading away some of their vets, which is more of a question in Calgary than it seems in Nashville. Nashville is going to try and trade away some of those guys. I mean, it's being reported. It's all rumors, of course. But the big question for the Flames, of course, coming into this game is between the pipes, because lately it's been Cooley playing really well and Wolf not so well. And for tonight, Devin Cooley is in the starter's net here in Nashville this morning. He has played in 5 of the last 6 games and is on a 3-0-1 run, of course, in his starts. So he's definitely been the Flames' better goalie, and Dustin Wolf understands the assignment of Mission McKenna. Cooley doesn't, and he's playing really well, but it is really exciting to watch Cooley really find his game after it was questionable if he'd even get a shot at the NHL this year in the preseason after how bad that was. But either way, he's a great guy, and we get to watch him again in net tonight. Interesting, is there a real, question between the pipes in Calgary? What's going on with Wolfie? Not too sure, but either way, that is tonight's game in Nashville. Let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from from yesterday's video, of course, kind of about some trade rumors, especially involving Andersson. And Kevin here says Andersson only has a 6-team no-trade clause, so it will come down to best offer. It will be a late first and a prospect. It is what it is. He's a rental, and quite frankly, why send him to Vegas and make our 2026 unprotected first worse? Love to see Vegas miss the playoffs. One can dream. And yeah, it'd be outstanding if the Flames pick, or Vegas's pick, that is now the Flames, could be as high as possible, of course. But it is true. Andersson to Vegas doesn't entice me as much. The Flames can't make that mistake like they did with Hanifin, of course. But yeah, best offer for sure. If it's a sign and trade, then the Flames can get more back than what's said in this comment. But that does seem like a realistic price if he ends up going as just simply a rental. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, like you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.